Welcome back. You're tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW, where we help you navigate the mortgage and real estate market with expert advice from knowledgeable and trustworthy industry professionals. Now here in studio, we have Maria Riggins, a real estate broker with Keller Williams. Maria has been a licensed broker for 22 years. She has been with Keller Williams Realty Puget Sound since 2010 and loves the culture that Keller Williams lives by. Having lives worth living, businesses worth owning, and legacies worth leaving. Maria has been married for 30-plus years and has 2 children, an adorable grandson, and 2 border collies, and she rides her own Harley, motorcycle mama, yes. She's a Washington native and currently resides in Federal Way. Maria specializes in serving her clients' individual needs. 95% of her business is repeat and referral business. She loves serving people, always striving for a positive outcome. Welcome to the show, Maria.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
So, well, first of all, you guys, what's your plans for Father's Day? What are you guys doing?
Well, I put the pressure on my kids and asked them to contact their dad.
Oh.
So I'm leaving the day open. I'm going to give them a little nudge and see what they come up with.
That's good.
We'll come up with something special for them.
Yeah, that's good. It really is up to the kids. I know my husband says when Mother's Day rolls around, "You're not my mom," but then he usually always comes through in the end, so that's good.
Yeah, because you don't say that he's not your dad on Father's Day.
I never do. And besides,
No.
my kids take really good care of me too anyway, so
Yeah,
that's good.
We spoil you. Well, we're so glad to have you on this show. And so can you just share a little bit about, how you got into the real estate business and how long you've been doing this?
I've been in the real estate business for over 22 years. I got started originally because I had come home, quit Boeing, raised my stepson, needed something that would be flexible, for my schedule. I stepped into appraisal, and I apprenticed as a real estate appraiser, and then the market tanked. So I didn't know what I didn't know, right?
Right.
So sure, I'll go get my license and stepped right into real estate, and it was a down market. And so that's probably the best time for somebody to learn. And that's, my husband wanted to invest in real estate, and he felt that was a great opportunity for us to kind of know what was going on in the market and firsthand. And that's kind of how we got started. Yeah.
Wow. So do you have properties now? Are you guys invested in real estate?
Yes.
Yeah, you have rentals and
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great. I mean, that totally makes sense, right? If
Yeah.
you're going to do it, you gotta know what's going on. So so when you started, did you start with Keller Williams, or where did you begin?
No, I originally started at Prudential, and then from there I moved over to Windermere, West Campus in Federal Way, and then from there I was there 12 years, and then came to Keller Williams.
And so how has that benefited you?
I
That's a good move.
love Keller Williams.
Yeah.
I feel that I wish I would have started my career there, and because of the amount of training and culture and support that the agents surround you with, it's just awesome. So it's a great place to land, and I'll be there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably got a good education. I mean, sometimes it's good to maybe learn what you don't want, right?
Yeah, I guess if I would have started there, I wouldn't have known anything different, how great it is.
Right.
And so in that sense, yeah, that was a great learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So how do you get your business? Is it mostly from past clients, or are you pretty much referral based?
The majority of my business is referral based, repeat and referral. Clients that I originally sold them a home, now they've grown out of that home. They want to sell and purchase another home or invest in something. About 95% is repeat and referral. I am a premier agent on Zillow.
Okay.
I do have other sources of referrals and a networking group that I'm involved in, and just recently signed up for Heroes Home Advantage, and want to serve the military community as well. Both my father and my father-in-law have been in the military, and I'd like to give back to that community.
Can you tell us what's Heroes Home Advantage?
It is a network of professionals that are willing to give back to the hero in terms of like 25% of my commission would go towards their closing costs or or their purchase. And then mortgage companies or service providers also are willing to give a discount to that hero. And it's not just military, but it's teachers and healthcare professionals and people that serve the community.
Right. Or everyday heroes.
Everyday
right?
heroes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That is. That's
I've
great.
never heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, we should, because, Caliber's a huge player in the we have a great veterans program, and we really honor them through
We
the
do.
loan process, and they receive a gift from us at closing, and
Yeah, that's
That's
really
great.
neat.
yeah, it is really cool.
So do you do mainly buyers or sellers? Are you split between listings and
I'm split.
are you?
Yeah, and I think because of the nature of my clientele being repeat business, it just naturally gravitates towards almost 50-50
Uh-huh.
of selling and then buying, and because they're using me for both ends. And I think they find that having me as their agent, as their listing agent, and then turning around and using me to purchase, it's just seamless.
Right.
It's very seamless for them.
So what do you attribute this referral business to? I mean, obviously, I think that you're a wonderful agent, but do you do anything special for your clients to maintain that relationship?
I do stay in touch with my clients throughout the year, some sort of touch, whether it be mail, email, phone call, face-to-face. And I feel like they view me as family, that I'm their family realtor.
Right.
Their trusted realtor, and have created that bond. And so they just call me.
That's awesome.
That's exactly what you want.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the perfect world right there, right?
So do you have a team that supports your business then?
I do. Small team.
Yeah.
Not a large team, not like the Franks, but I do have people that support me in my business. I have a admin. I've got a transaction coordinator. I have a showing assistant on call. And so we all make it so that the client has, full attention.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, some agents, they have a support of, anytime you call, I'm going to pick up the phone. And then there are a lot more teams now, and so how do you feel the difference between just working with an agent that doesn't have that support versus having a team behind you? What does that do for the client?
I'm still the primary focal. If my showing assistant is out there, they'll contact her to make the appointments. But then when it comes time to write the offer, it comes back to me, and we sit down and, prepare their offer. Yeah. So it's pretty seamless as far as their point of contact.
Well, that's great. I'm sure, from the client's perspective, they don't see it, but the back end, the people who are assisting you take so much off your plate
Yes.
that you are able to respond quicker and, just provide excellent customer service that you couldn't if you didn't have that help.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
There's
I always tell my clients I like to take at least one weekend off a month.
Yeah.
So my husband remembers who I am. Because in this business, you can just get
Right.
just rolling. So it's,
Yeah,
it's
that's
important
good.
to do that.
You have to prioritize the people that you're working for,
Yes, right.
right?
People that
exactly.
you love.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? So, let's talk about sellers in today's market. What are some of the concerns that you're hearing from sellers right now?
The concerns are, if I sell my home, am I going to be able to find a home? Because the inventory levels are so low. And depending on the market area that you're looking at, that can vary quite a bit. And if you're looking in the Seattle area, it's crazy, And so having a conversation with your agent up front before you put your home on the market is really crucial so that you can strategize what options you might have and that you can present yourself in the strongest position possible, right, in presenting those offers and knowing that you're going to nail it. There's people out there that, you're bidding up against 22 offers. They're going over 100,000, sometimes 200,000 above ask price. And it's really hard to compete if you're not ready to go. And they need to talk to you, Patricia, their lender, right? And get that in alignment. If they need to know, can I purchase this next home without having to sell my home? Can I carry both? Do I qualify for both, right? That would be one question. The next question was, okay, if I sell my home, do I have a place that I can rent, stay with a family member so that I have the cash in hand? They're not make any contingencies. Or maybe can I lease back? back from the person that's purchasing my home so that I can position myself for the next home. So there's a lot of different strategies, and, there's a few others depending on your situation that we could figure out for the seller.
Right. Are you, what area are you focused on mainly for your business? Is the South, Seattle, where are you? Are all over?
I'm all over.
Okay.
I'm focused on my clients' needs.
Okay.
Okay. And so I have one family that I'm their family realtor, quote unquote. And so I've gone, way far south, all the way up to Bellingham and Sumas, and have sold, maybe 6 family members' homes. And so you just take care of your families.
Okay.
And if it's an area that I have a new buyer, I don't have a previous relationship with, and I don't feel that I can service them well, I will find a great agent for that area for them if it's too far out of my area.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure it probably gets a little tricky when it's too far away, right?
Exactly.
Especially if it's
Bellingham
a listing.
seems pretty far away.
Well, it was a listing. Listing. And so for, for listings, it's a little different scenario. You partner with an agent that can be ready to show that listing for you. And I take on the listing, paperwork and, responsibilities there. So it's very doable.
So speaking of listings, what are some ideas about helping prepare a buyer to list their home? What sort of things do you cover with them?
So to help a seller.
I'm sorry. Yes, I said home. Buyer. That's the other guy.
Well, they will be a buyer as soon as they sell it.
Yeah,
so they're both. Both and. It's important to walk through with your agent because they have an eye, just like Val and I were sitting out in the lobby looking at the cracks in the cement. You just automatically are trained to look for certain things. And so you want to walk through the house with your agent, one, to find out what is the best way to show this house. 2, are there any physical conditions that may need to be remedied so that it is available to most loan types out there? Because the house has to qualify for the loan as well as the buyer, right?
Right.
And so if there's certain things like dry rot or the roof doesn't have 5 years life left or there's a leak somewhere, we need to get those taken care of. The third thing, we're strongly recommending sellers to do a home inspection before even putting it on the market. And it gives the seller a lot of leverage. They are prepared. They're not surprised. They have time to get bids, and they can decide what they want to fix, what they don't. And it also helps us determine how we're going to present it, as far as financing options as well. So there's a lot of different things. Then, of course, the standard, touch up your bathrooms, your kitchens, clean paint. We live in such a beautiful area that it's really important to do your landscaping.
Yeah.
Trim it up, get it edged.
That first impression, right?
First impression. Clean the front door so it's not grimy, Put some good smells in there so that you don't smell pet odors or, smokes or anything like that. So those basic things still hold true. Yeah.
We just had a house that the appraisal came back and called for the carpet to be cleaned and the doors to be on the hinges. So I think they probably removed the doors, like taking furniture out, moving. That's not a big deal. But it was the first time I've ever experienced where the appraiser asked for the carpet to be cleaned.
Was it a VA?
No.
Wow.
No. So they had pets, and I guess the carpets were quite disarray, right, from pet urine. But that's just something I would think as the listing agent should have said, we should clean these carpets before we list this house.
And rehang the doors,
Yeah. So, now it's just delays because those things have to get done now. And then you have to have the appraiser go back out and sign off on it. So if you have a good agent that up front is saying, these are the things that need to get done, not only does it help your house sell, but once you have sold it, it moves it through the process quicker and doesn't delay financing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's really, really important. I like the pre-inspection.
So how do you help the sellers accurately price their home? Because, right now we're kind of seeing situations where appraisals are coming in low. And, how do you work through that?
That's a great question. And, people are banking on the escalation of this market. It's a hot market. Let's just price it out there. Our job as an agent is to take a look at what we have for available comps, right?
Right.
What has sold in the last 6 months, what has sold in the last 3 months, and then we also have to take a look at what is the upswing for that area and kind of gauge it, because in the end, unless it's a cash offer, we're still subject to those financing guidelines, and that appraiser has to be able to validate that value.
Right.
And so we take some statistics, the numbers, but also kind of market knowledge, and knowing what's going on, and take a look at that and figure it out.
I would think sometimes it's probably a little challenging because buyers are very proud of their own place, right?
Yeah,
so you gotta
sellers are.
Or
Yeah.
seller. Gosh,
Yeah.
I work with buyers. I don't. I got buyer on the brain, but yeah, kind of talk them down to reality a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but NAR has statistics as far as pricing your home, right? And if it doesn't sell within a certain amount of time, so many showings, 10 to 12 showings, or within the first couple of weeks, you are definitely overpriced by 5%. And so there are other gauges that we can take a look at and keep a tick on the market of what it's doing and where you are in the marketplace, because it ebbs and flows. Something comes on, something comes off. So it's just really important that agent is active and taking a look at that for you, having conversation with you, and having an agreement that if within a certain amount of time it doesn't, have an offer, we need to do some type of an adjustment.
Which I'm sure is really hard for a seller in this market because they think they're also going to sell in 2 days.
Sometimes it may not be price, though. Sometimes it may be condition or something that could be remedied differently. Mm-hmm. So it's feedback that we give to the sellers after the agents have shown it that also help us determine what are people saying? What are the buyers feeling about this home?
It's great.
Well, all I can say is that if you do want to sell your home, you definitely want to work with a seasoned professional like Maria Riggins, because
yes, you do.
There's a lot of strategy involved in that. So I can't believe our time is over, Maria, but it's already over. And thank you for all the awesome information.
Yeah, that was really great.
For the opportunity.
Great
I really
having
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, great having you on the show. Thank you for tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest. When we come back from the break, we will have Valerie Frink with Keller Williams Cares, KW Cares, talking about how they are serving the communities through charitable giving. To find out about topics discussed on today's show, you can find us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.